What's a poor people thing rich people don't understand is expensive? Can't stock up on a non-perishable staple when there's a sale because there isn't enough money to spend on things that aren't an immediate need. The time needed to plan meals and shopping down to the dollar based on coupons, and how much everything costs that week. Can't improvise. Transportation. I wouldn't be as broke if I didn't have my car, but then I wouldn't have a way to get around. Payment, insurance, and gas is pricey. Getting sick. Ongoing regular maintenance. Oh, your car is reliable? Because you can get the oil changed and other maintenance on a regular schedule. Your house doesn't have mold because you can afford to replace the roof or windows if it needs it. Panic. I used to wake up in the middle of the night in pure panic worrying about paying bills. Food. When you can't save up enough to buy new or better quality items because you have to spend too much maintaining your old things. Selling plasma to survive. People shouldn't have to sell their bodies to get by. Literally everything. It's fucking expensive being poor. Renting. My apartment costs me $20,000 a year, and it's a very modest place. Multiply toilet paper. Rebates at the grocery store only if you buy 2 or more of the same item. I can't afford 2. Everything. My parents are rich enough to buy stuff in bulk to such a degree that the store gives them a discount. You can't do that as a poor person. Poor people need special, less expensive stuff made just for them. And that's going to cost them more when you compare it to bulk buying. Debt. Day-to-day living. Utilities, food, gas, medical bills, insurance, clothing, living paycheck to paycheck. Not going on vacations. Not going anywhere. Having to buy the cheapest Walmart work shoes you can because that's all you can afford, and then having to rebuy them again a few months later when they wear out, and the cycle repeats, and then eventually you've spent more on replacing the shoes than if you bought a high-quality brand in the first place. Space. Even if you could afford to buy giant, $40 boxes of toilet paper, where would you put them? Healthcare. Not having enough money to pay for small, inexpensive issues and having them explode to expensive ones, home and car repairs, dental work, etc. Living life with minimal/zero margin. The seemingly perpetual cortisol-flooded survival state that goes along with it because you're trying to make sure your basic needs are covered with each paycheck. The accompanying fear that one unanticipated expense will throw your account into negative territory. Terry Pratchett gave an excellent example about boots. A rich man can spend money on a good pair of boots that will last him 10 years or more. A poor man can only afford the cheap boots, but they need to be replaced every year. So in the course of 10 years, the poor man buys 10 pairs of boots and spends more money on his boots overall than the rich man does. Being poor is just expensive as hell no matter how you slice it. Time really is money, and when you're poor you have neither. Not having any money. Bank. We see your account is -$1, so we're gonna go ahead and charge you $36 for that. You get a check, but if you deposit it in your bank account they're going to hold it for a week because you don't have a high enough average balance. So you go to a check cashing place and pay a bunch of fees so you can get your money. Late fees from living paycheck to paycheck. Higher insurance premiums from not having great credit. And the list goes on and on. One banana. Being broke. Everything costs more when you don't have money. Late fees, overdraft charges, buying the cheap version that breaks and needs replacing, not being able to buy in bulk because you can't afford the upfront cost. It adds up fast.